The year is 1821, and California is still under the oppressive rule of the Spanish. The people are held down by corrupt officials like the evil governor Don Rafael Montero, who have no regard for their lives or their rights. But there is one man who does, a Tia. They call him Zorro, a legendary masked swordsman who has dedicated his life to fighting for the downtrodden and taking out the corrupt. But Zorro's true identity is a secret known only to a few. He is Don Diego de la Vega, a wealthy landowner who uses his fortune and influence to help those in need. But when Montero finds out who Zorro really is, he vows to get back at him. And in the end, he does, killing his wife and kidnapping his infant daughter, Elena. Don Rafael then took his prize back to Spain with him when he left California. For the next 20 years, Diego was locked up in a Spanish prison, slowly fading into obscurity as the people forgot about him, and his legend of Zorro began to die with him. That is, until one day when Don Rafael suddenly returned to California with an even more sinister plan. See, the Mexican government was in desperate need of money, and he planned to use that to his advantage. He intended to buy California from them, but he wasn't just going to pay for it with his own money. No, instead, he planned to steal the gold right out from under the noses of the very people he was exploiting. So he assembled a team of soldiers and set to work building a fortune on stolen labor. Hearing this, Diego knew he had to do something. Though he was too old to be Zorro now, he escaped his prison cell and began the long journey back to California, where upon his arrival he heard the people's cries for help and saw the destruction that Don Rafael had caused. Remembering his purpose, Diego vowed to put an end to it once and for all. But he quickly realized he couldn't do it alone. As skilled as he was getting up there in years. And so he began searching for someone worthy to carry on his legacy. And that's when he met Alejandro Murrieta, a handsome young thief who was looking for revenge against Captain Love, one of Don Rafael's brutal henchmen who happened to be the killer of his brother. Seeing the potential in the young man, Diego began training him in swordsmanship, horse riding, and everything else he needed to know to become Zorro. Of course, he also taught him the most important part, which was the code of Zorro, to fight for the people, not for personal gain. Meanwhile, Alejandro infiltrated Don Rafael's inner circle, disguised as a Spanish nobleman, where he soon caught the eye of Elena, who had grown up with a deep sense of justice, unaware that he was actually her father. Sparks flew between them, but their budding romance was soon put in jeopardy as Alejandro's mission became more and more dangerous. And that was when he learned Don Rafael's true plan. Not only was he stealing the gold from the people of California, he intended to use the money to force the Mexican government to sell the territory back to Spain. Learning this, Alejandro knew he had to act fast. With the help of Diego and some other allies, he launched a daring attack on Don Rafael's estate, rescuing the miners and destroying his operation. In the end, it was revealed that Elena was Don Rafael's niece, not his daughter, and that he had only taken her in to make Diego suffer. With his dying breath, Diego revealed the truth to her, explaining who he was and what he had done. Then, knowing his time had come, he passed on the black mask to Alejandro, officially making him the new Zorro. But before he could take his leave, Don Rafael confronted him, leading to an epic sword fight between the two. Meanwhile, Alejandro took Elena aside, revealing his true identity to her and thanking her for her help before confronting his final obstacle, Captain Love. With every fiber of his being, Alejandro fought to avenge his brother, besting the captain in a thrilling showdown. In the end, justice was served as Don Rafael met his demise, and the people of California were free from his tyranny. But the story doesn't end there. In fact, it's just beginning for Alejandro and Elena. They shared a kiss, acknowledging their love for each other. And together they stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that they had each other and the people of California by their side. And so the legend of Zorro lived on through Alejandro, continuing his fight for justice under the black mask and flowing cape. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more content.